Henry IV of France. Henry IV of France was born a Protestant, but converted to Catholicism to secure his claim to the French throne. France was deeply divided by religious wars, and his Protestant faith was a major obstacle to ruling the country. To end the conflict, he famously stated, "Paris is well worth a mass," signifying his willingness to convert for political stability. His decision led to the Edict of Nantes in 1598, granting religious tolerance to Protestants and bringing temporary peace. Despite his conversion, some Catholics still viewed him with suspicion, while some Protestants saw him as a traitor. Henry focused on rebuilding France and improving the lives of his people, becoming one of its most beloved kings. His reign demonstrated the complex relationship between politics and religion in European history. He was assassinated in 1610 by a radical Catholic who opposed his policies of religious tolerance, Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts, the Academy Award-winning actress, grew up in a Christian household but developed a deep interest in Hinduism later in life. While filming the movie Eat, Pray, Love in India, she was introduced to Hindu teachings and felt a strong spiritual connection. She has spoken about how the philosophy of Hinduism, particularly the ideas of karma and reincarnation, resonated with her. Roberts embraced the faith and even took her family to Hindu temples, raising her children with elements of the religion. She has credited Hinduism with helping her find inner peace and a greater sense of gratitude in her life. In interviews, she has expressed admiration for the values of nonviolence, meditation, and self-awareness that the religion teaches. Unlike some converts, she has never been vocal about strict religious adherence, but sees Hinduism as a guiding force in her spiritual journey. Her conversion reflects the growing appeal of Eastern spiritual traditions among Western celebrities. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, the legendary boxing champion, had a difficult upbringing and became known for his aggressive persona inside and outside the ring. His life took a major turn when he was convicted of a crime in the early 1990s and sentenced to prison. During his incarceration, he converted to Islam and adopted the name Malik Abdul Aziz, finding discipline and solace in the faith. He has credited Islam with giving him a sense of purpose and structure during his time behind bars. After his release, Tyson continued to embrace his faith, though he has had struggles along the way. He has openly admitted to personal failures but remains committed to his belief in God. His spiritual transformation has been a central theme in his later life, alongside his efforts to reform his image. Today, he speaks about Islam's impact on his life and the importance of inner peace. Augustine of Hippo. Augustine of Hippo was one of the most influential Christian theologians, but he spent much of his early life rejecting Christianity. He initially followed Manichaeism, a religious movement that blended elements of Christianity, Zoroastrianism, and Gnostic beliefs. His mother, Monica, was a devout Christian who prayed for his conversion, but Augustine remained skeptical for years. He was deeply influenced by philosophy and struggled with the idea of God, searching for meaning through various belief systems. Eventually, he encountered the teachings of Ambrose, a bishop in Milan, who helped him understand Christianity in a new way. In a moment of spiritual crisis, he read a passage from the Bible that moved him to fully embrace the faith. He later became a bishop and wrote Confessions, one of the most famous spiritual autobiographies in history. His writings shaped Christian theology for centuries, especially on topics like grace, free will, and sin. Cat Stevens, Yusuf Islam. Cat Stevens was a successful singer-songwriter in the 1970s, known for hits like Wild World and Father and Son. At the height of his fame, he faced a life-threatening experience when he nearly drowned while swimming in the ocean. During that moment, he prayed to God, and shortly after, his brother gifted him a Quran, which sparked his interest in Islam. Over time, he felt deeply connected to its teachings and made the decision to convert, adopting the name Yusuf Islam. He stepped away from the music industry to focus on his faith and charitable work, dedicating himself to education and humanitarian efforts. For many years, he avoided performing but later returned to music, balancing his faith with his artistic passion. His conversion was controversial, especially after he expressed views that were misinterpreted as extremist. However, he has since clarified his beliefs and continues to promote peace and understanding. Today, he remains a respected figure in both the music and religious communities. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, originally known as Cassius Clay, grew up in a Christian household but converted to Islam during his boxing career. He was introduced to the Nation of Islam in the 1960s, which deeply influenced his views on race, identity, and spirituality. His decision to change his name symbolized his rejection of what he called his slave name and his embrace of a new faith. His conversion was met with backlash, especially when he refused to be drafted into the Vietnam War on religious and moral grounds. As a result, he was stripped of his boxing titles and banned from the sport for several years. Despite the challenges, he remained firm in his beliefs and eventually became one of the most beloved figures in sports history. Later in life, he distanced himself from the Nation of Islam and followed mainstream Sunni Islam. His faith played a major role in his activism, humanitarian work, and personal philosophy until his passing in 2016. C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis was an atheist for much of his early life, influenced by the rationalist and secular ideas of his time. As a scholar of literature and mythology, he initially saw religious beliefs as mere legends without historical credibility. However, his close friendship with J.R.R. Tolkien, a devout Catholic, led him to re-examine his views on Christianity. After much intellectual struggle, he experienced a gradual conversion, describing himself as the most reluctant convert in history. His faith became the foundation of his writings, leading to classics like Mere Christianity and the Chronicles of Narnia. He used logic and storytelling to explain Christian concepts, making his works accessible to both believers and skeptics. His journey from atheism to Christianity remains one of the most famous intellectual conversions of the 20th century. Today, his books continue to inspire countless readers, regardless of religious background. Queen Noor of Jordan. Queen Noor, born Lisa Halaby, was an American of Syrian, British, and Swedish descent who grew up in a secular environment. She studied architecture and urban planning before working on international projects, which led to her introduction to King Hussein of Jordan. Their relationship developed quickly, and she converted to Islam before marrying him in 1978, becoming Queen Noor. Her conversion was a personal choice, but also symbolized her commitment to her new role and country. As queen, she played a vital role in humanitarian efforts, particularly in education, women's rights, and global peace initiatives. She has continued to advocate for social justice even after King Hussein's passing. Her life reflects a unique blend of Western and Middle Eastern influences, bridging cultural and religious gaps. Today, she remains a respected public figure dedicated to charitable causes. Malcolm X. Malcolm X was raised as a Christian but had little connection to religion in his early years. His troubled youth led him to crime and imprisonment, where he was introduced to the Nation of Islam. He converted and became one of its most influential leaders, advocating for Black empowerment and self-sufficiency. His speeches were passionate and often controversial, making him both admired and feared. Over time, he grew disillusioned with the Nation of Islam's leadership and embraced a more orthodox form of Islam. After performing Hajj, he publicly spoke about his transformation and the unity he experienced among Muslims of all races. His new message of inclusivity and peace led to his assassination in 1965. His legacy continues to influence discussions on race, religion, and social justice. George W. Bush. George W. Bush, the 43rd President of the United States, grew up in a Christian household but did not take his faith seriously in his younger years. He struggled with alcohol addiction, which led to personal and professional difficulties. A turning point came when he had a conversation with evangelist Billy Graham, who encouraged him to develop a personal relationship with God. Inspired by this, he quit drinking and became a born-again Christian, crediting his faith for saving his life. His religious beliefs strongly influenced his presidency, particularly in his policies on social issues. Some viewed his faith as a source of moral guidance, while others criticized it for shaping his political decisions too much. Regardless of opinions, his conversion played a key role in his leadership and personal transformation. Today, he continues to speak about faith's impact on his journey. This channel reached monetization organically in just 4 months. But with the right strategy, you could reach this milestone in only 30 days. For more details, check out the description or the pinned comment. If you enjoyed this video, don't miss our next one where we dive deep into the top 10 arguments against the existence of God. We'll explore some of the most thought-provoking and debated perspectives that challenge the concept of a higher power. Get ready for a deep intellectual discussion that you won't want to miss. Stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and join the conversation.